Yo, yo, this is it. I'm Mr. Faye, and you're listening to Attack of the Beats on IllMuzik.com. Well. It seems that right now you're checking out IllMuzik, the new design, the new look. I hope you like it. It took a long time to get to this point, but it was a lot of hard work, but I think it looks really dope. It looks fresh, looks new, and exciting, I hope. But it should be great. It should be great on all platforms, mobile and everything, so... it's very difficult to design for mobile, but I try my best, but of course it's always nicer looking on a desktop, if you're on a laptop or whatever. So, especially with this new design, you can see, if you look at it on your laptop or whatever, you can see like the background image, it's a big background image on all the on all the pages. So, if you're on a mobile, you're not going to see that shit. So, anyway. But, so look around and enjoy it and click around, see what's what. All right. So we got 5 beats and we'll get to it right away. First up, we've got, who do we have here? We've got DJ Bull with Trappin' for Access. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was DJ Bull with Trappin' for Access. All right, so right off the bat, you got the nice keys that are looping over and over, nice synth, I should say. And, that's, obviously that's the strong point of this beat here. It really stands out. That's your loop and everything. And it's really dope. It sounds really, really nice. The synth that you put behind that sounds like a synth. It's like half synth, half organ or whatever. But that I would do away with because it just doesn't sound good. Because usually, some kind of trap beat, you're gonna want some kind of synth that's plays out long, like kind of like some strings, let's say, or whatever. So with that one, it's like they're short, short notes, and that's okay. But it's the sound. It's the sound I just don't like of it. But your drums, you got the nice kick, you got a nice snare. Problem is that the snare. Is that, of course, with trap music, you're going to want like your snare in stereo, let's say. But in this case, I don't know like if it's if you added reverb to it or whatever, but it just sounds pretty like it just sounds out of place with the kick, you know what I mean? So it's like it's a good snare, it goes with the kick, but it just feels like there's some reverb or something that makes the stereo sound even more stereo. You know what I mean? So I've heard that in the past with other people. It's like it's kind of like like in a way, like let's say like the kick is in mono and the snare is in stereo. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't sound right. So I would just fix that shit. Fix the snare. You could maybe try to put a mono or whatever, but it's a nice. Keep that snare. Just maybe just tweak it so that it doesn't sound like it's so much in stereo. So, but like I said, just the synth part, man. Take that part out. and add something else in, because around like halfway through your beat you take it out and it sounds nice like that. And I was like, oh, I thought you were gonna keep going with that, but then you brought it back in, so. But yeah, do away with that because the rest sounds nice. I like that looping part, man. The looping synth there. Keep that. That's the best part of the beat. So yeah, it's a dope beat though. All right. So next up, what do we got here? We've got On and Calf with Hamburger Hill. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was On and Calf with Hamburger Hill. All right, so what's interesting is that this is a really good beat, okay? And I think the thing is that with this one is that the mix could be a little bit better because, it's fine. It's just that I just think, like, for example, you got that nice fast violin, okay? And I want to hear more of that because it sounds really, really dope. It's like, right at the beginning, I was like, "Oh shit, it's gonna be a hype beat." And it's not a hype beat, but it's a strong beat, and that's what I like about it. But I don't hear enough of that violin later on, right? Everything else drops in, so I don't really hear it much. And it would be nice to bring it in a little more. So, your low end's a little heavy, but it's good. I like what you're doing with it. But I just think that the mix, like I said, the mix could be a little bit better. Everything could be positioned a little bit better. But the violin is the one thing I really wanted to hear more of and stuff, But what's interesting too is that this type of beat that it sounds like a type of beat in a movie. Okay, something that you would have in a movie. So I mean, really, if you want to sell this shit, you should shop around and try to sell this one because it sounds like the type of beat I would hear in a movie. I mean, really, and maybe a war movie or something. Because if you take the drums out and you have just that music, I mean, especially with that heavy part, it comes in. I think that'd be really good for a movie, really. So, I don't know, maybe play with that or something like that. Maybe have some parts where you take out the drums, you just have that music. It sounds really, really good. So, but the other thing too is that I know later on you added in a bit of like a vocal choir type thing. But honestly, I think you could keep that. But I was waiting for some strings to come in. Some strings. Again, like you got the violin, right? If you bring that up a bit, you have some like really high strings in the background, just chilling there. Like later on in the beat, I think that would sound really, really nice. But for what you did with it, it's a dope beat. I like it. All right, so next up we've got Steven Diaz with Glue. Let's check it out. All right, all right. Okay, so that was Steven Diaz with Glue. All right, so this one, it's one of those beats where, using some really nice samples here. I like that. I think the real problem is that it's the drums, because even though they sound good, it's just like it's one of those things, where it's like it's just out of place, I mean, sometimes you have certain samples, like drum samples, for example, where they sound good, but when you start playing them, they just sound like they're hollow, and like they're not hollow, but like they just kind of end abruptly, and there's like some more, there's like they just kind of like they're very choppy, let's say, so you could keep the drums you have, and I would say keep them, and maybe just edit them a little bit more so they don't cut off so abruptly or whatever, but it's just like it's one of those drum tracks where it just needs more excitement to it, because honestly, if you take your drum track out right now, you take your drums out and you add in, let's say, some kind of really dope breakbeat, right? Classic breakbeat, like what was it, like Funky Drummer or whatever, something like that. Let's say you add that in, it's gonna make it sound so much better. Just the drums with your samples, right? So I'm not saying do that, but keep the drums you have and add something to it. So usually when I have something like this going on, what I'll do is I'll add some effects, right? Effects come to the rescue. So you can add some compression, okay, just to give it some tightness right there. Okay, you just gotta be careful with the compression though, but use a bit of compression. And it sounds like there's a bit of swing on it maybe, but if not, add a little bit more swing. And then you could try to find some kind of effect that gives like an exciter. Like there's some effect out there that's called like the exciter or something like that. There's stuff like that, So there's even one from from Native Instruments where it's called Supercharger. And that one, like, it just bumps shit up, it just makes it sound nice, like it gives them some, it makes it louder, it makes it sparkle, whatever. So try stuff like that, and just on the drums, and you'll see, like, it's gonna bring it out more, I mean, as long as the drum sound nice, so that's why I'm saying, like, edit them a bit, but to make them not so abrupt. But yeah, once you add some effects on it, it's gonna make the drum track a lot more exciting. And that plus the nice samples you have, it's going to be a winning beat, And on top of that, the only thing else that was missing was a bass line. I was missing a bass line there. I mean, I was just hoping a bass line would come in, because it's one of those beats where it just sounds nice. I'm just waiting. As soon as that bass line comes in, it's going to make the beat sound even better, So anyway, get that going, man. Get a nice bass line going and add some excitement to the drums. All right. Okay, so next up, what do we got here? We got Jamba Beats. Jamba Beats. Is it Jamba? Yeah, Jamba Beats with Dark Side. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Jamba Beats with Dark Side. All right, so hence the name Dark Side. It sounds like a very dark beat, and I like that. It's freaky, you know. It comes in, it's pretty dark synth and all that, and it works. It's good. It's a little repetitive, the synth and all that stuff, but it does work. And but the drums though, again, you know, it's the mixing aspect, right? I mean, you know, I'm trying to fine tune these things for you guys here, and you know, for the mixer, I mean, it sounds fine. It's just that the drums, they sound like they're too processed, let's say, too stereo. You know what I mean? So to me, it just doesn't really go that well with the synth. You know, it does, but it doesn't really. You know, like if you really listen to those drums, you know, like some people have done that where, you know, they have a mix where it's just like overly processed. I'm not saying you did that, but it kind of sounds like the drums are just, you know, they shouldn't be processed, you know, all that shit. You know, like put them in stereo if you want, but you know, it has to match with your lead, you know. So I would say fix that part. But as far as the synth, it sounds good. It's just that, to me, honestly, I was going to say maybe you should add some synth lead on top of that, just something subtle. But then I was like, well, it is a synth lead anyway, this thing. So how about you add some strings? And I mentioned that to one of the previous beats. And really, this one, though, should, since it is a synth string thing going on right here, add some strings, some high-pitched strings. It doesn't have to be like all throughout, but here and there, it can come in, you know. And that would make it a lot nicer, you know, because it is a hype beat. I like the drums, man. They bang hard. You know, they just got to sound better in the mix. But that and some strings added to it, man, that'd be a dope beat, man. All right, so next up, what we got here? We got the last one. It's Vase with Clips. Let's check it out. All right. Okay, so that was Vase with Clips. All right, so this beat, I'm pretty sure I reviewed this already, or I heard it on Beat This Competition or something, because it sounds very familiar. It's that sample. It's got that warp thing to it or whatever, and it's really dope. It's a nice beat. I like what you did with it, with the percussion and everything, but what really bothered me was the percussion that you had to the left. I mean, it was really like the snare plus a bit of percussion off to the left, you know. It just kept coming in. It was just really annoying hearing that on the left, you know. So that thing, I mean, it's great work that you did. It's just that, I don't know, I would just put that somewhere else in the mix, like try to put dead center or whatever, you know, or maybe float it left and right or whatever, because it just really bothered me, that part. I don't know why, but I don't know, it just kept coming into my left. I was like, whatever. But no, it's a good beat, and I like it, but like I said, it's just that part there. But I like what you did with it. You had some nice breakdowns and this and that. Yeah, everything sounded nice and tight. It's just, to me, it was just that percussion, man. I would do something else with that, because I don't know. You know, it's great drum work and everything. Although the snare, like, you know, wasn't it's like I couldn't really follow it. Let's say, like it just sounded like it was just coming in with that percussion, and it's just, I don't know. It really bothered me. I don't know, but whatever. It's a good beat though. I like what he did. It's just I would just fix that part. So, all right. So that's it for me on Mr. Fade. This is Attack of the Beats. Keep sending the beats. I'll keep reviewing them. And my favorite beat this week, the winner is, drum roll please, Own a Calf with Hamburger Hill. Let's check it out.